Hello, my name is Alice Bull and I run the membership group at scraphappy.org. Today we are here to celebrate Scrappy Cathy's 1,500 YouTube subscribers for her celebratory hop. This is my friend Cathy, and she is such a source of inspiration to me. She is so prolific, and she brings so much artistry to the pages that she makes, along with a lot of enthusiasm. Cathy participates in many different scrapbooking challenges, and one of them that she really rocks is Calvin Ball. I'll talk a little bit about Calvin Ball as we dive into my page, but first I'll show you the layout of Cathy's that I'm going to scraplift. I chose this layout as it has an off-centered design where everything is weighted over on the left side, and that's not something that I do very often. I like the design with the two vertical columns of 3, and I think that it made for a really fun and interactive design, especially as she added so many little pieces on top of her photos and near her photos and tucked under her photos. And I just think that she is so good at that, and that's something I'm going to try to emulate on my page. I found 3 photos that I wanted to use. Not 5 like Cathy's, but that's okay. The first one is a picture of myself and my husband when we're on our trip to Hawaii, and then I had 2 pictures of chickens. So I grab a piece of pattern paper. It is from Vicki Boutin's Let's Wander collection. It's called Escape, and I loved all of the palm leaves, which is perfect for being in Hawaii. Because I was using a really busy pattern paper and Cathy had used white paper as her background, I wanted to kind of give my collection of photos and embellishments a little place to rest, and so I used this stencil with some light modeling paste from Liquitex to create like a home base for everything to sit on. And while I really like the effect that it creates, I end up covering very, very much of it up. And it's almost too bad. I wish I had made it a little bit wider, gone a little bit more off to the side so that you see a bit more underneath the clusters that I end up making later. But that's kind of what happens sometimes when you're creating. I left this overnight to dry. It didn't quite need that long, but it was okay, and I'll be back the next day. So I'm going to speed this up even more, and you'll get to see exactly where everything is going on the page as I create. There are a lot of little pieces here that I've pulled out. I actually have a little bowl on my desk with little leftovers that I toss into it, and I never use them. I have it there in front of me, but I never pull out that stuff. So I pulled out some of the pieces that I wanted to put onto the page, and I pulled out a lot of little things that would fit with some of the prompts from Calvin Ball. And so I've laid out my 3 pictures. I printed out journaling, which I almost never do, and then pulled out things like doilies and wood veneers and acrylics and some chipboard and a flare and all of the little pieces that you'll see me attach here. Now, what is Calvin Ball? It is this crazy, super fun scrapbooking and crafting challenge that we host over at scraphappy.org. If you're interested, you can check it out, scraphappy.org/CalvinBall. And during the whole month of March, we end up adding different things to a list. And then if you scrapbook and use items from the list, you end up giving yourself points. And I don't come up with the list, I curate the list, but there are so many random things that get added to the list. And it can be just a ton of fun to try to use them on your pages. So this month we have things like dating your project, using vellum, using an avocado, a camera, washi tape, a cut file, stamping, birthday, tropical florals and leaves, using a stencil, an arrow, a cloud, a rainbow shape, a frame, a star, grid paper, butterfly, heart, ribbon, die cut, flare, using more than 3 pattern papers, books or reading, Disney, glitter, wood veneer, dinosaur, coffee and tea, typewriter font, doily, sewing, bling, sequins, torn paper, wood grain paper or pattern, 3 or more photos, phrase stickers, acrylic, buttons, diagonal stripes, and black and white photo. And those are just the things that have made it to our permanent list. We also have a temporary list, and these things, when they're added, you never know how long you're going to have to use them. So, that temporary list can be really interesting. Things like hedgehogs and houses and speech bubbles and silver and a mouse and pineapple and gnomes and mushrooms, shamrocks, dogs, paper clips, hexagons, film strips, doodles, hot air balloons, fussy cutting, coloring, fishing, or no, fish, carousel, spaceship, Viewmaster, purple, diamond shapes. Oh my gosh, like I think I've missed some of them, but there are so many interesting things. And honestly, I don't do a lot of embellishing. I tend not to do a lot of embellishing on my pages. And so this really pushes me past my comfort zone. Like, I look at this page and it's still going to look like a page that I made. It looks like an Alice page. But I definitely can appreciate the fact that I've done something a little bit different. I've pushed myself to use different embellishments. I've tried different things just because they were on that Calvin Ball list. And so I find it to be a lot of fun. And one thing that Kathy really inspires me to do is to really push past that comfort zone. Does the page need to be about a hedgehog to put a little wood veneer hedgehog on it? Does the page need to have a mushroom on it to have a mushroom on it? Right? I take things very literally sometimes, and I really felt that this was a great opportunity for me to just play with my supplies. And that's one of the things that I really do during Calvin Ball. Just after I cut out this great quote that I had saved from one of those rip off the page calendars, my phone died. It was plugged in. I don't know what happened, but my phone totally died and stopped recording. So we're going to skip to my finished product, or mostly finished product, because I don't know, is a page ever done? I always find something and I like floof with it just a little bit. But I'll show you some of the details here. So you can see the little Scrappicado, which is the mascot for our Calvin Ball, has snuck its way onto the page. I have some wood veneers, I have chipboard, I have the little polka dot strip of paper. The phrase actually says, "There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." Albert Einstein. My journaling reads, "I'm so lucky. During our month in Maui, Jonas and I tried to take it easy. One of the things I found myself doing was not scheduling or overscheduling our days. Sometimes we had a little adventure. Sometimes we went to the beach. This trip to Kapaniwa'i Heritage Gardens took us to a beautiful valley. And of course, we saw chickens and a bunch of fluffy baby chicks. I love the relaxed pace of this trip, and I'm so lucky we can spend this time here together." So once again, here's Kathy's original page, and here is my interpretation or scraplift of hers. If you're interested in this Calvin Ball challenge that I was mentioning, you can pop over to scraphappy.org/calvinball and sign up. It's totally free. Congratulations, Kathy, on your first 1,500 YouTube subscribers. You are such an inspiration. Thank you for sharing this with all of us. And now, don't miss the next stop on the hop. Check the description below for the link to the next video. Oh wait, before you go, don't forget to hit the like and maybe subscribe. Happy scrappin'!